So number one, if you've started a company and you formed an LLC, you should have a set of corporate governance documents, and those governance documents typically start with the operating agreement. And depending on your jurisdiction, what state you're in, it may be required under state law to have that operating agreement in writing, identifying who the owners are, what percentages of the company that they own, and that it be fully executed or signed. So it's really important from a compliance standpoint to make sure you've got the right document in place. Number two, from an operations standpoint, if you're working with another owner or a group of owners, the operating agreement for an LLC is really there to help guide you, the owners, on how to overcome challenges and obstacles that might come up in the operations of the business. For instance, the operating agreement often gives directive as to who has the authority to sign and bind for the company. And so that's the answer to the question of who can sign for us. Look in your operating agreement. It should tell you. Finally, your operating agreement can be really important to help you, the company, set up bank accounts for your organization. The fastest way, or one of the fastest ways, to impair the liability shield that's around your company is if there's a commingling of funds, if your personal funds are somehow mixed up and commingled with your business funds. So you want to make sure you have a separate business banking account, banking relationship for your company that's separate from your personal finances. In order to set up business banking accounts, you're going to need a written operating agreement to provide to your lender when you open your bank. Intellectual property is property of your business. It's owned by your business. It's been created by your business or acquired by your business. And it's important to protect that property and the ownership rights to it just like anything else. And so, for instance, you may have a particular trade name that you like to use for your business that you've come up that's really crafty. And that name, if you just put it on a business card, may not be adequately protected. You may want to make sure that you get with your business advisory team to find out how do we protect the name of our business so that a competitor can't come along and carbon copy the name over and then compete right next door. One of the areas of particular sort of minefields, right, around operations of the business is the hiring and firing of employees. On the hiring side, the most important thing is to really get on the same page with your employees as far as what are the expectations of the role, of the job, of the career with the company while they're in the business, as well as when they exit the business. And the most prototypical way to sort of memorialize that is with a valid and enforceable employment agreement that complies with federal and state law, depending on the jurisdiction that you're in. So, for instance, one hot topic that's been around lately is around what are called restrictive covenants. And these are things like non-competition agreements, non-solicitation agreements, confidentiality agreements. It's a way for the employer and the employee to get on the same page about what they agree the employee will be able to do and not do during and post-employment. So if you don't memorialize these things in writing and get your employee on board and both sign these agreements, you could expose both the employer and the employee to potential future risk. Regulatory and corporate compliance are there for a reason. They're there to make sure that companies, limited liability companies, and corporations comply with the laws and operate business successfully and safely. And so it's really important that you as a business owner understand your responsibilities and the compliance and regulatory guidelines for your business relative to your industry and your federal laws and your state laws and what you need to comply with from a timing standpoint and a documentation standpoint. Oftentimes it's something that business owners find challenging. And so it's one of those areas that our team at NC Planning is very successful in supporting business owners with, and we're always here to help. So if you're a business owner or you're thinking about starting a business, you have any questions or concerns about your legal requirements, compliance and regulatory compliance, feel free to give our team at NC Planning a call. We have team members standing by, and we would be happy to help.